If you've been thinking about getting into technology sales, today we're going to talk about the top 6 reasons that technology sales is the best work from home job in 2022. And maybe this is your year to break into the industry. I've been in technology sales for 7 years. I started out at Oracle, then Google Cloud, and now a startup. And over the course of my 7 years, I've discovered these 6 key insights on why technology sales is a life-changing career. Now, before diving into the meat and potatoes and the top 6 reasons why technology sales is the best career to get into in 2022, I want to level set on what I mean by technology sales and technology companies. I'm specifically talking about B2B and B2C companies, for example, cloud companies like Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, software as a service companies like Salesforce and Workday, or other software as a service companies in the cybersecurity, artificial intelligence and machine learning space, data analytics, ed tech, fintech, insurtech, health tech. As you can see, there's so many types of software as a service companies and cloud companies. Take your pick. And personally, I was lucky to get into technology sales right out of college. I was a guy who didn't really know what he wanted to do with his life as a senior, but I loved people, I loved personal growth, and of course I wanted to make good money. I ended up shaking a hand with Sean, a recruiter for Oracle, and next thing you know, that shook up my future. And it's been the most rewarding career, so I'm excited to help you access that opportunity and pique your interest. I'm gonna be sharing statistics and personal insights and experiences being in the industry, so you're gonna wanna make sure you stay for the full 6 tips and 6 reasons to break into technology sales so you get the most out of the video. And if you're looking for coaching on breaking into the technology sales industry, or you're looking for coaching around improving your performance in a business development role, feel free to email me at chrisbussingchannel@gmail.com, and I'm happy to have a conversation. And of course, if you find this video entertaining and informative, make sure to like and subscribe for weekly tips to sell more and live more. Isn't that right, Bella? Good girl. Oh, bye. So without further ado, let's dive into the first reason technology sales is the best work from home career in 2022. Good girl. You bring joy to my life. I think she's doing this because I just said sirloin and she can smell it. The first reason that now is the time to get into technology sales is because there's so many jobs out there. We've experienced a major boom in cloud computing, and that has created a unique window of opportunity to ride a technology sales wave. There was a CEO that I used to meet with. He was one of my customers back at Google Cloud, and I asked him, how did you end up being so successful? And he said, Chris, I knew how to ride the waves. One wave and one trend would come, and I'd hop on and ride it until it settled down, and then I'd hop on the next wave. B2B and B2C technology sales, especially because of the boom in cloud computing and digital transformation that's disrupting all industries, is leading to a groundswell and a wave in technology sales. To put things in perspective, the global technology market is a jaw-dropping $5 trillion, and it's growing at 5% annually through 2024. There's been more venture capital funding of startups fueling their growth this year. And since 2007, the number of startups that have been born in the technology space has grown by 47%. And 1.35 million technology companies are born every year. There was a study that followed over 1,300 companies in the United States and Europe and found that the majority of the fastest growing companies were all technology companies. Cloud computing and digital transformation is disrupting all industries, including retail, healthcare, manufacturing, media and entertainment, education, government and public sector. These companies are changing the way they operate, moving from a traditional brick and mortar operating model to an agile cloud computing business model. And COVID only accelerated the digital transformation that was already taking place. As companies recognized that employees needed to work from home and work virtually and now operate in a hybrid model, and as they recognized the need to respond quickly to peaks and valleys in demand that could be caused by a crisis like a pandemic. Going forward, agility and responsiveness for businesses is key, and that is what cloud computing enabled, for example, in healthcare, to facilitate remote patient care, or ed tech when kids had to be schooled virtually from home. Technology enabled that transformation. Top companies and executives at those companies are shifting their spending and their budgets from traditional clunky on-premise investments to more agile cloud computing operating models. And as those billions of dollars flow to the cloud and software as a service, These companies are going to need salespeople to help meet the demand and take advantage of the market opportunity. And they're willing to pay a pretty penny. In fact, one of the biggest operating expenses or expenses in general for a company in technology is paying its salespeople. So all this said, when we look at these macro numbers and these trends, there is a lot of money to be made in technology sales, and there's going to be more jobs than ever before. So look into companies like Oracle and Google and Salesforce and technology companies that might give you some good training if you're new to the industry, and just jump in. There's a lot of companies to apply to and look at, so just go for it. The second reason to get into tech sales is because tech sales is the most lucrative job in sales and one of the highest paying jobs with the biggest upside, period. According to the Labor Department, the mean income of someone in technology sales is twice the mean income of all other workers. CNBC ranks technology sales as one of the top 7 highest paying careers. And according to Glassdoor, the average income for someone in technology sales is $50,000 to $140,000 a year. Forbes says that technology sales is the most in-demand job in the tech industry. I can back this up with my own experience. When I started at Oracle out of college as a business development rep, I made around $70K when I hit my number, and then I got promoted to a closing role, an inside sales role, and the next year I made 6 figures, and I've been making 6 figures ever since. The first year or so in technology sales is a grind when you start out in a business development role, but once you get promoted and work your way up, you unlock the opportunity for huge upside. Commissions where sales reps make crazy money. And if you're at a company like Oracle, Google, or a strong startup, your deal sizes can be really big. They can be up to 6, 7, 8 figures, and the commission you make on that is substantial. When I was at Oracle and Google, I've known a handful of reps that were in the field that made millions of dollars. I remember my mentor at Oracle used to flash his W-2 to show he made $1 million. I do not recommend that. It was kind of eccentric, but it's crazy that he did it, and I honestly have to give him credit. That's unbelievable. But hopefully this gives you a taste of the upside of breaking into technology sales and moving up the ranks and succeeding. And what's incredible is just by being in the role, you might find a bluebird, which is what we call in the industry a deal that you did nothing for that fell in your lap. I remember at Google Cloud, there was a rep who joined our team that walked into a multi-million-dollar deal, and she ended up making $1 million that year. So the upside of commission and closing big deals can really be transformative in terms of your financial freedom journey. You can make money to enable other passions. In fact, being successful in sales has allowed me to invest some money into this channel to help build it and be able to travel and enjoy other passions in life. What's great is because there are so many technology companies out there, you can be nimble and move from one company to another if you feel like things aren't working out, and you can increase your base salary. I changed companies twice, from Oracle to Google and from Google to a startup, and in one of those transitions, I boost my base salary by 60%, but in both transitions, I substantially increased my base salary. Another reason you can make so much in sales, aside from a strong base salary and a high upside by making commission off big deals, is by negotiating equity as a part of your compensation package. At Google and Amazon and other big companies, they give you equity, and at startups, you can negotiate equity before the company goes public, and if it does go public, the value of that equity quadruples as it turns from fairy dust into actual valuable stock. Another financial benefit of working at a tech company or a startup is that they often have really good benefits. Great healthcare and insurance that saves you a lot of money and upfront expenses. There are mental health benefits oftentimes. Free Nitro Brew on tap was something I loved at Google, free snacks. So you can save a lot of money through perks as well. And there are programs at Google and other top companies that recognize the importance of self-investment and that will fund some of your education or going to personal growth seminars. And that has an exponential return on your ability to make more money and really on your internal wealth, which is most important. The third reason to get into technology sales in 2022 is because it is a flexible job that always stays interesting. And it's flexible in many ways. One, it's flexible because you're probably going to be able to work remote and work from anywhere. The pandemic accelerated the move to work from home, and companies realized that they were paying a lot of overhead for office space when they could get rid of that overhead and employees could also be more productive at home. Being able to work remote in tech sales for me has enabled me to get a puppy Bella that otherwise would have been really hard to manage because she's so young. I think we can all appreciate the opportunity and freedom of working from home. Another reason a job in tech sales is flexible, especially at startups, is because you can define your own career path. You have flexibility with making your job more than the job description. In my current company, not only am I closing deals and selling to customers, but I've been able to put on a marketing hat and handle some marketing efforts and campaigns. I've been able to put on a recruiting hat and help with recruiting. It's helped me expand my skill set and grow as a person. In tech sales, you can often find that type of career flexibility. And of course, the industry itself is always flexible and evolving. There's always new technology, new customers to talk to, there's always new ideas, so it keeps things really interesting and dynamic. The fourth reason to get into technology sales is because technology sales will develop and grow you as a person and help develop transferable skills that you can take with you wherever you go. In order to be successful in sales, you really have to understand psychology, how to motivate yourself, how to motivate others, how to communicate effectively, how to deal with rejection and conflict. You learn a lot about yourself, and you're forced to grow by facing challenges and also being surrounded by great people. You learn how to influence, how to negotiate. You learn emotional intelligence and how important it is to success in life. In fact, it's more important to success than IQ. You learn time management and presentation skills that you can take with you wherever you go. You can apply it to your own personal business that you want to start as you become your own CEO. I've learned a lot of great mindset tips being in sales. One of my peers once said, live in awkward. Embrace discomfort. In fact, I learned about the common denominator of success, which is that successful people make a habit of doing the uncomfortable things that failures aren't willing to do. Well, that nugget and piece of literature by Albert Ian Gray, it was based off one of his famous speeches, was shared by a field sales manager at Oracle. I really believe sales and personal growth go together like peanut butter and jelly. So again, the fourth reason to get into tech sales is you're going to develop great skills and grow a ton. The fifth reason to get into technology sales in 2022 is because the people, relationships, and the culture that you'll find at these companies. In technology sales, although there are some bad eggs like there are anywhere, the majority of people are going to be high performers, former athletes, interesting people that are ambitious, open-minded, and trying to be the best they can be. And that's going to rub off onto you being in that environment. You're also going to find that culturally in technology sales, these companies are progressive and open-minded, and they embrace who you are and create a space for you to grow into the best version of yourself. At Google, there was an expression, bring your full self to work. And I love that they were so accepting. And in fact, there was a Googler, a mentor of mine who was a former manager, that was the one that recommended I start a YouTube channel. These tech companies are supportive of you as a whole person and even your side passions, and they want you to be successful in the role, but also flourish as a person. We end up being the sum of the people we're around, and in a tech sales environment, you're around mostly good people. And yes, tech sales folks tend to have a good time as well on top of working hard. And don't forget the relationships you build with customers. You're meeting incredible people who are building companies and leading companies, powering amazing ideas, and that network is very strategic, and you can take that with you for the rest of your life. And the sixth reason to get into technology sales this year is because the work is very meaningful and impactful. The work's meaningful because you're working with great people, but most importantly, you're powering great ideas and causes and companies that are making a big difference in the world through technology. What drew me to Google is their mission to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful, and I thought that was powerful. It solves so many challenges. I don't know if you've heard of the movie Lion, where an individual was separated from their parents at birth and ended up finding their parents years and years later through Google Maps. That's the type of impact that technology can have. Imagine selling into healthcare where you're helping improve patient outcomes through data analytics and artificial intelligence that automates manual processes and helps predict health issues before they balloon out of control. That's just a hypothetical example. Or imagine if you're selling into the education space and you're offering predictive analytics and machine learning that helps create a personalized learning experience for students to produce better outcomes in a remote learning world. There are so many companies that are making a difference through technology across many industries, and it's up to you to find one that has a mission and impact that aligns with your values and that you can get excited about. That's gonna make getting up in the morning and going to work on Mondays all worth it. So in summary, the top 6 reasons to get into technology sales this year, and the 6 reasons why it's the best work from home job in 2022 is number 1, cloud computing has caused a boom in the industry and there's so many jobs at so many great companies available. Number 2, it's the most lucrative sales job and one of the most lucrative careers in general. Number 3, it's a flexible and dynamic job where you can define your career path and work from home. Number 4, you're going to be challenged to grow and develop transferable skills that you can take with you wherever you go. Number 5, the people, relationships, and culture. And number 6, the work is meaningful and impactful. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got value out of it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for weekly tips to sell more and live more. And again, if you want to connect for consulting and coaching around breaking into the tech industry or being successful in an entry-level tech role like a business development role, email me at chrisbussingchannel@gmail.com. Happy selling and happy living.